4th. It looks like we are getting a few more connections. Okay, great. I am going to start saying some hellos. So hello, Amy and Betsy and Busy and Eliza. Hello, Dennis, coming in from British Columbia. Hello, Adele. Nice to see you. Hello, Fred and Toby in California and Caroline and Dion and Beryl in Chicago and Anne and Janet and Peter in Toronto and Bonnie in Idaho and Kathleen in Albuquerque. Hello, Barry and Gretchen and Dan in Vienna, Virginia. Hello, Sandy and Maddie, James, Deirdre, Lori, and a lot of other faces. I don't see any video or audio on you guys yet, but I hope you can hear me. Hello, Isabel, Barbara, Lori, and everyone else who's popping in. It's great to have all of you with us. And hello also to everybody out on Facebook Live. We're also really glad that you guys joined us today. Before I forget, if you're new to us and you can pop your state or your country into the chat, that's really great. We love to hear where everybody's from, and thank you. So welcome to the Washington Rebels Carpe Diem Arts Daily Antidote of Song. I'm Jo Rossi, and I'm the Community Engagement Director at Washington Rebels and also on the board of Carpe Diem Arts. And we've been doing this since April 6th, coming into this room and singing one song together every day as a way of building community through the virus time, and also more importantly, building community as our nation struggles with more awareness of the crisis of racial injustice and what to do about it, or what things we can contribute to it. And on that note, here we are on the 4th of July. And I was telling my partner a little while ago how nervous I am about speaking today, and often other days when I'm talking about the notion of racial injustice and the fact that I'm learning too. And so here I am as a spokesperson, but always a little afraid that there's some blind spots of my own that I'm not seeing and that I'm putting out there without intending to. So with specific notion to the 4th of July, we were talking about the fact that last year at our 4th of July party, someone read from Frederick Douglass and his words on the 4th of July. And yet it still didn't sink in for me the ways that it sank in this past several months about what it really means to be celebrating the 4th. And my partner, who is a total wordsmith, came up with, we're still searching for fulfillment of the promises made on July 4, 1776, which is a very eloquent way of saying, I think we're all confused and we're all trying, and we don't understand how to put together the notion of what it means to be a patriot or an American, or even what the notion of making America great means, because it's all gotten all wrapped up in a lot of stuff that it doesn't actually mean. And turns out it really has never meant what it was supposed to mean. And so here we are all looking for a way to move forward. I'm so grateful to all of you in this room. I mentioned yesterday we're going to send out an email with a link to join us. One of our artists, Dan Zanes, told us about a group that he participates in, Constructive White Conversation. I'm going to invite everyone in our community to join us all at the same time in one of his conversations, so we as a community can be together in that context as well. I know we talk in here, but being led by others and hearing the voices of others, I think will be very helpful. So a couple of side notes. We're going to pop into the box the email link. If you wish to either get our daily email, you can me, or you can put your email in the chat box, and we will be able to respond and get you on the email list. We send it out daily with the lyrics and the artists who are leading that day. Also, a big thank you to Colin K. Bills, who is taking a day off today, a much deserved day off today, and Nico Rossi, Rossi DeMattis, who is therefore running the entire tech universe for me today. Thank you, Nico. And thank you also to Colin's mommy, who comes in even when Colin isn't here. I really love that. Thank you, Beryl. So we'll be on mute till the end. The lyrics will be in the chat, and at the end we'll unmute so people can ask questions or just thank Leah personally. Thanks again to everybody for being in this room with us while we do this thing. Thank you, really. Leah Morris, thank you so much for leading us today. One of our all-time favorite regulars, and it's always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Jo, and thank you all for hanging out a little bit today. I would like to say that this song was written by Eliza Carney, who is sitting right there on my screen. So if anyone has any words to share about this song when it's all done, she's here and can receive those. I do a lot of different things, and I have fun with all of them, but some of the most meaningful and fulfilling work I do is with kids. So when Eliza invited me to participate in her group, the Civic Circle, I was over the moon and excited about a group that is bringing notions and understanding and teaching about what it means to be in a democracy, to live in a democracy and contribute to a democracy. So this is a song called The Citizen Tango that Eliza wrote to kind of bring together the cohesive vision of her Civic Circle program. And the chorus goes like this. Take 7 steps to democracy. You have rights and you are free, but your responsibility is to be a citizen. And the whole song is really accessible and easy to sing, but that's your part. If you miss everything else, that's what we're singing together. All right, you ready? Take 7 steps to democracy. You have rights and you are free, but your responsibility is to be a citizen. Listen respectfully, even if you disagree. Stick with the facts, learn the truth before you act. Fight, win or lose, use your right to choose. Take 7 steps to democracy. You have rights and you are free, but your responsibility is to be a citizen. Get out and help someone, join together, have some fun. Speak loud and clear, say what people need to hear. Act, fix what's wrong, numbers make us strong. Take 7 steps to democracy. You have rights and you are free, but your responsibility is to be a citizen. Here's one last step to take. Be a candidate. If you see a need, run for office, take the lead. Be the boss today, have the final say. Take 7 steps to democracy. You have rights and you are free, but your responsibility is to be a citizen. Be an American. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Thank you. It's good to hear the words and read the words and sing the words and think a lot about what democracy means and where we have sometimes gotten some parts of it right and where the parts are that we need to really be thinking about and where we can contribute. So thank you again. It's really actually very lovely to think about a room full of kids singing those words and maybe roomfuls of kids over and over as you move to different schools or different groups. And thank you for sharing that. And thank you, Eliza, for letting Leah sing that with us and for writing those great words. The two of you make a great team. And it's really great to have both of you here today. So I am going to scroll the room for comments, and anybody is welcome to talk about, ask, say anything in addition to just wanting to thank Leah or any other kind of chat at all. And if we don't have big chatters today, if what we have is people who are looking forward to going out and sitting with their families on their porch and talking about democracy, then we will not have commentary today, and we will simply move into the notion of honoring our 4th of July. I see Greg Lewis has a hand up. Greg Lewis.
All right, Leah, that was terrific. But what I'd like to do is ask Eliza to tell us a little bit more about the work you do and what it involves and what led you I mean, I think I know what led you particularly to this song, but can you tell us a little bit more about what you do?
Yeah, thank you, Greg. That's so nice. The Civic Circle uses story and song to teach kids 7 steps to democracy. And these include listen, which is civil discourse, learn, which is media literacy, choose, which is voting, join, which is public service, speak, which is advocacy, act, which is organizing, and lead, which is running for office. And our premise is that kids are not learning civic skills so much. They get a lot of facts and dates as part of their civic education, but they're not really learning civic skills, and little kids are not really learning. They're not engaged in civic learning in an effective way. So we're using the performing arts as a tool to fill this gap in our civic learning world.
That's great.
Is it into schools? How does the program distribute?
So before the pandemic, we were doing assembly shows and in-person workshops. Now we're doing some educational videos, and Leah has helped tremendously with that. Thank you, Leah. First of all, thank you, Leah, for that terrific rendition of the song. Fantastic as usual. And in fact, Leah has just created an amazing women's suffrage video that will be featured at the Montgomery County Commission for Women's Suffrage Centennial later this summer. So we've done a number of videos to get our message out, and we're creating a series of educational videos that will be a sort of supplement to or a replacement in the meantime for our assembly show. And we're doing Zoom workshops now, including one later this summer with Carpe Diem Arts called Singing for Democracy.
Thank you, Eliza. That was really great to learn about. I would say that there are also probably many adults who could give some thought to 7 steps of civic responsibility and really look at the pieces that we are, where we're putting our time and where we could potentially put more time. So thank you so much for that.
Joe, is the link to the website on the chat box?
The link to the website is on the chat box. The link to the website is on the chat box, care of Busy Graham. And actually there are a couple other links that I want to just point you towards that I actually forgot to say earlier. On NPR right now, there's a 6-minute piece. The link is in the chat for the descendants of Frederick Douglass reciting Frederick Douglass's words on the 4th of July. And it's a quite lovely piece, and I highly recommend it. And also in the chat box is the Washington Rebels Facebook page. We posted a video today done by our own Jubilee Voices. And if we haven't posted the link to the blog post that the director, Andrea Blackford Jones wrote, Andrea Jones Blackford, sorry. She wrote a blog post, and if the link isn't there, I will include it in the daily email later today or tomorrow when I send that out. So that is 2 different places or 3 different places, I guess, that you can go for a little bit more. I'll include all of that also in the daily email, all of those links when I send them out, including Eliza's link. So thanks, Greg, for a great question. Thanks, Eliza, for a great answer. Is there anybody else who has any other hands? Busy Graham.
Hi, everyone. Thanks a million, Leah. That was such a great rendition of such a great song. Eliza Newland Carney, you're a brilliant songwriter. And this great Civic Circle nonprofit is really doing exceptional work in the world. So I hope you will check them out. I just put the correct web link in there, the civiccircle.org. And Eliza, do you want to say something about the July 4th, no parade, no problem scheduled activities today?
Yes, thank you, Busy. Anyone who has kids in their lives should visit our Facebook page and click on our virtual parade and sing along. And on our homepage, we have a tab that says July 4th Central that has all the charts for the songs so you can sing along. And we also have a full day's worth of July 4th activities for kids. We have links to all kinds of songs that they can sing along to, things they can discover about our nation's history, activities that they can do. And I just want to say, Joe, thank you for noting that there's a tension here. You know, when we go about civic education, there is a complicated story that we have to tell. There's been a tension at the founding of our nation from the very beginning. And even that song, you know, when we work with kids, we try to make quite clear that when we say be a citizen, we don't mean you need to go out and be a US citizen. We just mean you need to be an active member of your community. But thank you, Busy, for that shout out on the July 4th Central on the Civic Circle homepage.
Yeah, and then just one more thing, in addition to the Singing for Democracy class that we're offering, Eliza, Leah Morris, and Nick Newland are all involved in that class through summer art ventures for 3rd to 5th graders. And I have the link in the chat box for that too, or just look at the Carpe Diem website, carpediemarts.org. But also, Leah is going to be teaching a songwriting class July 20th to the 24th. I think it's at 1:30 for an hour each day, and that is well worth signing up for. And more information again in the chat box or on our website.
Thank you, Busy. Thank you again, Eliza. Thank you again, Leah. And actually, for anybody out there on Facebook, if you've ever wondered about what our chats look like after we turn off Facebook, now you know, because I forgot to say goodbye to you and say thank you for being with us. So actually our chats look really different day to day. Sometimes you hear more about other events. Sometimes people ask questions. Sometimes there's just some happy laughter and love and we say goodbye. But thanks for joining us inadvertently today for that. And we hope you'll be with us again tomorrow and for the rest of the month. We've got some great stuff coming up. So goodbye, Facebook.